For people who don't know what mindfulness is, how would you describe it?
I would describe mindfulness as being aware, living in the present moment and not time traveling in your mind, and basically savoring every moment, and also having more self-awareness. And from the place of mindfulness, especially where partners are concerned, you can make much wiser choices. So I talk about minding the gap, and it benefits every area of your life.
In fact, if you're somebody who has meditated before or tried meditating and felt that you were a failure because too many thoughts rolled in, mindfulness is not about stopping thoughts. Mindfulness is respecting thoughts, becoming aware of them, watching them, feelings as well, feelings in the body, physical sensations. One of the exercises I do with my students is we do a body scan, and we just go through different parts of our body and become aware of it. Sometimes we do an emotional one where we just say, what are you feeling today? What are the feelings? Let's give them names. And so what happens, you call it minding the gap. And it's really as soon as you create a space between feelings, thoughts, and your awareness of them, you have an ability to manage them better. Now imagine how this translates into relationships, where we can be very impulsive and very defensive when somebody hits one of our tender spots emotionally. So tell me more about that.
So in the area of mindfulness and relationships, where it really helps, I believe, is everybody should be aware that when we enter a relationship, we bring all our emotional baggage. We bring Uncle Tom Cobley and everybody into it. And when you practice mindfulness, you are much more able to step back and not be such a hot reactor. So that's a real advantage. So as you say, your buttons don't get activated as readily as they do if you weren't practicing mindfulness. And it doesn't happen overnight. It's about practicing it on an ongoing basis. And as you said, there's no wrong way of doing mindfulness. The only wrong way of practicing mindfulness is not to do it.
Of course. And my favorite metaphor for mindfulness is you go to the gym and imagine the Stairmaster is your daily meditation. You're working out those muscles. And in mindfulness, it's the muscles of self-awareness. It's the muscles in the brain. But in this metaphor, you're working out those muscles so you're strong. And one day you're walking down the street and this car careens at you. And you have the ability to jump fast and far from it because you've done the training. And this is what mindfulness is. It's doing the regular training. So when your partner, flies at you with something from left field, and you want to scream at them because you're seeing your abandoning father or your critical mother in that person, and you want to be defensive, it gives you a chance to go, whoa, what's happening here?
And it's also about not being afraid of those feelings. Those feelings can't hurt you. They may be present, they may be part of your internal blueprint, but you don't have to act on them. You don't have to react.
Exactly. We can just literally say to ourselves, why did they say that? I wonder what's going on with them.
And why take a cortisol shower is what I always say, because you trigger the whole nervous
cortisol
system,
shower.
then you're gone.
Yes. Yeah. Because as soon as you're in that fight or flight moment, you've lost the ability to be mindful at that moment. Although I will say that mindfulness goes far to sort of building bridges back into love after those moments. Being able to, say, you know what? I lost it.
It's very good for enabling you to say sorry.
Yes, it is.
So it's not hopeless if you do take the cortisol shower. You can step back and say, hey, I'm sorry.
So here's some interesting things about research on mindfulness. Research on mindfulness shows that people who meditate regularly tend to have better relationships. They tend to have more empathy. They tend to have more compassion. They tend to be less reactive, less impulsive.